Welcome to the channel. You cannot Desmos your way through SAT Math, but if you understand the math, Desmos become unfair weapon. Let me show you. First, most students misuse this weapon. Cannot carry you through this SAT by itself. You need some help. A lot of students rely on Desmos for every little thing. You're wasting time. These are Desmos in action. Straightforward linear equation. What is the solution? All you need to do is plot it into the equation. And then you have y. Just separate them. Is equal to minus x plus 9. You have intersection, and that should be your right answer. Straightforward. Desmos in action. You have a rational equation. It looks complicated. Don't worry about it. Desmos got you. And this is where it passes through the line. And your answer choice, minus 10 and 5. Straightforward. Desmos in action. Or you can just have this quadratic equation, x squared minus 5x plus 6 is going to give you your roots, your vectors, the y-intercept. Straightforward, you look for it. Or this equation where you want to know a quadratic equation and a line where they intersect, that give you the root. These are Desmos in action. Plot those in a very short time, and then you get your answer right away. And so this is where the two graphs intersect, and you can find the points over here. You can find the vectors, and you can find any information they ask you. But this is straightforward Desmos in action. Is this all you need to walk through the SAT and you think you can Desmos your way through? No, look at it. For the exponential function f, the value of f of x is c, where c is a constant. Of the following equation that define the function f, all of them define it. Which equation shows the value of c as the constant or the base? This is a exponential concept. Desmos is not going to tell you. You got to input. Do you want to calculate all of them? You don't need to. You know f of 0 to be c, that's the beginning. If f of c is the beginning, if the f of 0 is the beginning, well, I know all this is supposed to be 1. Because if I raise f, the base equal to 0, I'm going to get 1. And then f of 0 is going to be the constant. This is not going to give you 1. Because 0 plus 1 is 1, 1.5, you have a base. This also you have a base. This also you're going to have a base. The only one you're not going to have a base is this, 1.5 raised to 0 is 1. So 33. If you calculate, all of them is going to give you 33. But the only one that 33 is going to be a base or a coefficient, because the base is now 1, is b. It's a common sense, straightforward SAT. They don't want you to use Desmos for this. They give you the Desmos. Do you think they will set all the questions to answer questions using the Desmos? No, the examiners know that. You know how to do it. Something like that. You can use Desmos, but it's a waste of time. F of t is giving you that. The function f is defined by a given equation. The function g is what is translated plus 3. Bring your concept. Remember, if you understand the concept, Desmos is just going to support you. If you don't understand the concept, you're trying to put things in calculator, you can make a mistake easily. What is the maximum value of g of t? Well, if the equation is translated to plus 3, I put plus 3 here. And this becomes g of what? T. This is my new equation. You can plot this in Desmos, try to find, but the answer choice is not going to be in this form. Trust me, right? Now, the easy way is to calculate it, because you can calculate it easily comparing to graph it. Every time they ask you for maximum, use this formula. C minus b squared over 4a. What is C? 3. B squared is 55 squared over 4, which is a is minus 2. And this is going to give you 3 plus 55 squared over 8. I don't see my answer, but I can still simplify it. I have 3, 2 go outside, 55 over 4 squared. And that's number 2. But now, let's see if Desmos will give you the same thing. Well, it cannot calculate that information. You have to calculate each individual. So your g of t is equal to what? 55t minus 2 t squared plus 3. right? It's going to give you that information. It's going to do it for you. But this is the value is that it has given you 381. You have to calculate all these individual values and see which one is going to give you 381 in the fraction. You're going to get it eventually, but like I said, you should use Desmos wisely, not everything. You cannot walk through every question thinking that I got to do Desmos, right? The next one is this. This is a classic Desmos question. I want you to use Desmos for this. G of 6 is 11. G of 9 is 7 over 3. They give you the function. They want you to find G of 11. This is a regression. So it's easy to dash Desmos, but you can also calculate if you're very fast. I can show you the fast way. But this is what you need to do. You got to give Desmos the function so that they can deal with it, right? Now, K, after you give Desmos the equation, now you got to use regression. Right? You got to say G of 6 and a G of 11 of G of 9 regression. What are your answers? Your answers were what? G of 6, 11, and G of 9 is 704. And Desmos will give you R is equal to 4 and K. If R is equal to 4, then I can find G of what? What is G of 11? It give you 11,264. That's a straightforward question. But if you want to calculate and you like calculation, I want you to put G of 9 will be what? 704 over K R9 divided by G of 6. This is 11 over K R6. This will go into 64, and this will be R raised to what? 3. R is equal to 4. You're going to get your answer right. Then you know R is equal to 4. You just put it in G of 11, right? It's going to give you K R raised to 11. But you have to see that R raised to 11 is the same as what? R6, R5. And R6 was what? 11. So 11 times 4 raised to 5. And then this will give you the same answer. So 11 times 4 raised to 5 will give you the same answer. But how fast you are, if you can use calculators and you're not very good at calculating, this is easy. And if you're very good at using your putting input in the system, like I say, you have to interpret it. You have to know how to use this. If you're not, then this is your best place to go. Are you going to Desmos your way through this? No, the system will calculate it for you. But it says simplify. It cannot simplify this. You know, this has to be 1/5 a square. The lower portion, this is going to be what? 1, right? Because x raised to 0 is 1, and this will be 2. Therefore, your answer is x 11 over 5 over 2. And that's your right answer. Desmos is not going to help you. It can calculate it for you, but that's not what the question is asking. So you always have to answer the question. This is another question. Is a lot. Students will see it and they say, hey, I need to put it into Desmos. If you don't understand the words in the question, you cannot answer it. You cannot put good input into Desmos. Desmos will give you good output if the input is good. They give you this equation, you know it's quadratic. They say H, you have to understand the question first. H estimates the object height. So the object height in feet above the ground. So this is the height. This is H. When the time it was drop, right? And B is the constant. The function estimated that object, this is the height of the object above when T is equal to 0, the height of the substance is what? 3364. Therefore, when T is equal to 0, the height is B. You already have your B. This is mathematics thinking about it. Approximately how many seconds after being dropped does the function estimate the object will hit the ground? When the object hit the ground, H is now 0. Therefore, when H is equal to 0, I'm looking for T. But I already know T and B. So I have 0 is equal to what? Minus 16 T squared plus my 3364. Straightforward, right? This is becoming what? 3364 over 16. That's our square root. You get your answer straight. It will give you 14. You can plot it. but you have to know what to give it to Desmos. You have to define this equation in G of t. If you don't do that, then the Desmos cannot give you the right answer choice. This is why you have to understand what these equations are. If you want to plot it, yeah, you put in the equation h of t is equal to that. But you have to tell Desmos, like I say, you have to know how to play with the variable. When h of 0, this is what we have, regression, right? We have the height 3364. And therefore, Desmos is telling you b is equal to 3364. That's the constant, right? And therefore, you look at the graph and you say, oh, the only way this is going to hit 0 at the point it hits 0 at this time, 14.52. But if you don't know when it hits 0, it's a problem. But this is what they're asking you. You got to interpret the question in that form. The T0 is what? The height where you have this. And this is the way you can apply your knowledge. You can check your answers, but you cannot just walk your way through without knowing what to do with the question. Therefore, easy graph, who wins? Desmos. Algebra speed, who wins? No Desmos wins. Concept, hey, no Desmos win. You got to know the concept to tell Desmos what to do. He cannot read the question for you. Hard SAT, who wins? Understanding wins. If the question is hard, understand it. If you understand it, solving it can be easier. You can then, if you understand it, you can input it to what? Desmos, and Desmos will help you. This is the way you do it. If you like this video, subscribe for more content like that.